Hello there, I'm Amelia and I'm from North East Animal Rights. Welcome to another one of my short talks on all things vegan. And today I wanted to do a review of the year of 2022, looking back at what we've achieved as a group and also work supporting other groups and what's been going on in the movement. Although we're a relative new group, it feels like we've been around for a lot longer. One of the things that people often say to me is that they don't think there's a lot of animal rights stuff going on in the Northeast, but that's completely wrong. It's not the case. There's an awful lot of stuff going on, particularly now, but there's always been an animal rights presence. One of our aims was to increase our social media presence so people know that what goes on, so we can reach as many people as possible through as many platforms as possible. But other things we do as well as we work with other, we actively work with other like-minded groups, those who may have different ways of doing things, but they all adhere to the educational, raising awareness, campaigning, systems-based change, peaceful and non-violent approach. So we've strengthened our relationship with groups like Freedom for Animals, with whom we've worked on quite a lot recently on their Christmas animal campaign. We've also worked with Animal Aid as well on exactly the same campaign. So both of those two groups we work with and we have worked with for quite some time. We also have another member of our group who is doing the school speaker program with Animal Aid as well, which is a huge help because there's an awful lot of schools who want Animal Aid speakers to go out there. Now I've done about 30 schools, nearly 30 schools this year, so that's an awful lot of young people and students who I've been talking to about animal rights, about being kind to animals, about veganism, about how easy it is to be vegan. It's a really, really good way of educating a lot of people in one go, because children have a natural kindness towards animals when they're born and when they're growing up. Unfortunately, it's conditioned out of them because people start introducing them as food, and then there's a huge disconnect in terms of the animals they love and care about and the animals on the plate. But education is key to what we do as a group as well. So it's great to talk to schools about the whole vegan lifestyle. It's not just about the food choices. Obviously, it's an ethical lifestyle which changes your life and changes your life for the better. We've got an ever stronger relationship now with our Reborn Animal Rebellion group in the North. I took part in the Stop the Distribution of Dairy campaign in September, and it was a life-changing experience. I've never felt so far out of my comfort zone and had such moments of terror as well, such abject terror. But it was amazing. I made some lifelong friends there, and it was a privilege to work with all these people. And some of the Animal Justice Project, I supported a recent event, a publicity stunt they did at DEFRA in London. Again, out of my comfort zone, but meeting some fabulous people. And hopefully we'll continue to work with those in 2023. Most of you who follow our media will know that we work very closely with Pause for Thought, who are our local wildlife rescue and rehabilitation centre and rehoming centre as well. And we have a number of members, including myself, who regularly volunteer. Laura goes up there and spends time looking after all the animals, and a few of us do all the emergency rescues as well. Of course, we support the local Animals Asia support group run by the fabulous VJ, who is just an animal superstar and an incredible role model. I think everybody needs to know somebody like VJ. She's absolutely amazing. And we also make sure that we have a presence at slaughterhouse vigils as well. These are run by North East Animal Safe, but we've supported them for quite a long time. So we try to make sure that we work with all of these groups because together we are so much stronger. It's not just about one small group, it's about all these people. And obviously we can support each other. People come and support us and we support them as well. So we have a much bigger presence. Our campaign work this year has kept us really, really busy. I mean, I think it's surprising how much work goes into these campaigns and how slow the progress is. This time last year, one of our beloved rabbits, a rescue rabbit, Lottie, died through fright because of fireworks at a local business person, shall we say, who decided to have a firework display very, very close to a residential estate. She died of fright. She died in my arms and it was awful. So we have named our firework campaign, Lottie's campaign, after her to keep it personalised so we know that animals are dying because of fireworks. It's very, very personal to me, obviously. But if you are going to have fireworks this weekend, obviously it's New Year's Eve and people will be thinking about having firework displays, please think again. The damage it does to wildlife and the environment is incredible. It's just awful. But also, you know, the trauma it causes to veterans, the trauma it causes to people who have firework phobias, but the sheer distress and injury and death it causes to animals as well. So please think again. It's a 5-minute, you know, sort of thing for people to have fireworks, but actually it causes a lifetime of suffering. We also have our animal protection charter. And that's taken a lot of hard work. That was born from our camel parade. So it's taken a lot of patience and hard work on both sides, and a lot of redrafts, an awful lot of redrafts. I think we're on version 10, but we're nearly there now. So this charter was born from the camel parade, and it just goes to show you how far we've come in terms of relationships, building them and nurturing relationships with the council. Who we used to kind of protest against. So it's kind of like it's a big turnaround. We also have our work extending the charter with other councils as well around the country. And our Adopt Own Shop campaign has been an absolute hard slog. It's really, really been difficult getting names on petitions, but also trying to get pet shop stores to engage. And particularly the ones who are big chains, it's really, really difficult to get them to change their mindset from making money from animals and animals' misery, essentially. But we've done an awful lot of work with our local police force as well, our local wildlife team, around the gull shootings, and trying to support them with prosecutions and wildlife crime as well. And we've done lots of awareness with the police and our local MP, and also through other groups and through our council, who've done digital media campaigns around the protection seagulls are afforded. So there's an awful lot of stuff going on there behind the scenes, which I don't think people realise how much work goes into it. We know that our work in the community, which we do, regularly, a couple of times a week, is making a difference, because people tell us, and they tell us that they appreciate it, whether it's litter picking or weeding or collecting and delivering items for the food bank. We do quite a bit. We are always doing things like that. So it's to make sure that people are aware that it's not just purely for the animals, the animals benefit, but also humans can benefit as well. It's about all animals, all beings. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of highlight some kind of like highlights and successes of the movement, big things and small things, but kind of like just kind of like remind you about not so much how far we've still got to go, but how far we've come as well. I'm always a very positive person. I know that veganism and animal rights movement is continually changing all the time, and it's we have these small successes, we have setbacks, but we keep on going. We must keep on going. We need to keep on going for the animals. The animals are desperate for our help, and we must help them. So highly successes this year. In the summer, there was a liberation of 5 beagles from MBR Acres. Now, a lot of you will know of Camp Beagle and the MBR beagles down there, who are, beagle puppies, 16-week-old babies who are taken away to be tortured in scientific labs. Well, labs in the name of science, which is just utter rubbish. So we were very, very buoyed up by the fact that we heard about 5 beagles being liberated from there. The Stop Dairy campaign, as much as that, we got a lot of awareness raised about that, a lot of conversations started, a lot of interviews on TV. Animal Rebellion were able to do a lot of awareness about that. But actually, the biggest success was what was going on behind the scenes, the talks within animal agriculture, and the recognising that we are not the enemy and they are not the enemy, that we are trying to help each other. We don't want them to kill animals, and they need to survive. They need to have a business which is financially viable. So we need to help each other. Obviously, the DEFRA stunt in London was a big success as well, because that got a lot of people talking about avian flu. And avian flu is something which is particularly poignant for us up here on the northeast coast, because we have seen absolute devastation in our herring gull and kittiwakes in their communities. It was awful in the summer. It was absolutely awful, picking body after body up. It was just horrendous. The death count was just beyond anything we could have imagined in our nightmares. So the DEFRA awareness one with a banner about avian flu, and the next pandemic coming, which is avian flu, well, it's already here. We need people to be aware of it. It's always where humans are interfering with animals, whether it's wildlife or whether it's animals bred for the table, this devastation occurs. So that was another big success. And we've just heard, obviously, relatively recently that the law has now, it's now passed into law that animals have sentience, which is protected in law. We've always known that. We've known that for quite some time, that animals have sentience, which is the capacity to feel fear and pain and love and form relationships and lots of things around awareness. But that's now passed into law, so that is a big thing. In terms of us as a group, we were able to support a prosecution, a successful one, which for a double gull killing, which led to jail time, and we would continue to support the police with that. We did our social events are always really, really good. They're not social events just for sort of like just for the sake of it. These are ones for kind of like looking after each other, a bit of recuperation, talking about it, because being an animal rights activist is quite isolating, so you need the support of other people. And these trips, I mean, we did one to Millington's Magical Barn, which was just absolutely fantastic. The dedication of those people down there, Jake and everybody at the sanctuary, was just amazing, and really, really give us hope that we know why we're doing these things. We're doing it for the animals in sanctuaries like these places. We also were able to increase our social media reach, which is a good thing. But again, we need to keep on increasing. So keep on, please, subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is free, sharing all of our social media, liking us, following us, and getting the word out, because, you know, otherwise I'm just talking to an echo chamber. We need people to know that we are there and to ask us questions about how they can help animals. Our festival was a big success. It was really, really good. I mean, you know, I mentioned earlier there was big stress. A lot of blood, sweat and tears went into it. Really, really stressful event, but hopefully this year it won't be so stressful, because we've already done it at that venue and we know how it'll run. But it raised a lot of awareness for animal rights groups, raised a lot of money for local vegan traders and also for vegan charities. And this year we'll have a new charity we're supporting. So we're looking forward to doing that, and it'll be full steam ahead in the new year. Some of you will have seen that I was daft enough to do a sea dip, in North Sea sea dip on Christmas Eve. It was absolutely freezing cold, bitter. Took all day to warm up. I was freezing. And I've managed to raise just under £400. So thank you very much to everybody who donated. It's really, really appreciated. That money will go towards, some of it will go towards our an advert, which I'll mention in a moment. And some of it will go to us supporting other charities as well, because we always like to keep an eye out for small animal charities who need a little bit of a hand. You know, last year we were able to help Critter Castle up in Northumberland in Berwick, because they had there was a huge storm and storm damage, and we helped Birds Aid as well. So it's always nice to have a little bit of money where we can, as a group, say we really want to help this group and just give them a little bit of a boost to recognise what they're doing. And obviously we're going to be continuing our fundraising just for that reason as well, because we want to be able to support groups and also reach other people. So, you know, buying some props and things which are, you know, eye-catching. Like we already have Winnie the Mooh, so we want to try and get other props which people can sort of see from a long distance away, so they are more likely to come over and talk to us and they know what we're talking about. So next year, that's kind of like our highlights of last year. But next year, straight away on the 1st of January, we've got our Veganuary advert. So we've been working with Veganuary in a local digital media company to get a near-sponsored Veganuary advert up. And that's going to be up most of January in a local superstore car park. So I'll be putting some stuff on social media when that goes up. But we're very, very excited about that. It's, you know, it reaches an awful lot of people and it will start a conversation. And it's also about normalizing veganism as well. I mean, that's something which we need to do. We need to make eating meat and dairy abnormal and make vegan the way to go. You know, making plant-based food normal and veganism as the normal lifestyle, the kindness. That's what we need to be doing all the time. We also have our festival coming up as well, so that's something. And then very soon, in probably February, March time, we're looking at launching our wider council animal protection charter. So we will be doing a little bit of a launch on social media. And I'm really excited about that, because all of the hard work which we did in our local council, South Tyneside, we've been able to push out, and we're kind of like personalising it with some of the other councils as well to make it more sort of relevant to their settings, because some of them are very, very different settings to, obviously we're a coastal authority, but some of them are rural as well, and some of them are very, very busy city ones. So that's really exciting that we actually are, you know, increasing our reach and trying to bring councils and, you know, people who are decision makers and people who have big impacts on everyday people, on the lives of everyday people. So, you know, it's great to have some sort of input and some, you know, like a nod towards the animals, and kind of making sure that the animals are considered along in all of the decisions that they're making. And obviously we're going to be continuing with our main campaigns as well. So we will be talking about our campaigns again in the near future. We're probably not going to take on any more campaigns, because the campaigns that we do have are absolutely massive. And we really haven't made progress, but we haven't got to the end of them yet. So we kind of want to keep on going with those. So I'm going to end with a couple of things now. So first of all, a big thank you. I've got a list of people who I want to thank, but I will miss people out, so please don't be offended, but you kind of know that you may be in groups of people who I want to thank. First of all, our councillors in our ward. They have been really, really incredible. I mean, they get lots and lots of emails from me, sometimes because I want some help with them, from them or something, but other times because somebody has raised a query with me and they want me to help, so I'll find out the answer from them. They've been really good, but also our council officers, all the different departments who help us with the Animal Protection Charter, but also help things with like the weed killing campaign. Our MP, Emma Llewellyn-Buck, she always supports us, and she was somebody who raised an EDM for the plant-based treaty endorsement as well. So it's always good to have her support. Peter Regan, the actor, the Downton Abbey and Afterlife actor, and absolutely fantastic activist. He's been a really, really good supporter of ours for a number of years now. Karen Richards from Mad Promotions, she's been a really, really good source of just sensible advice and support, and really, really a big help to me. Laurie Delahunty, she's setting up a new group, Exposing Cruelty, who we are working with now, and she's been a big help again for support and advice and help with our festival. Alternative Stores, Supernatural, they are always supporting us with everything we do, and they're, I don't think we should underestimate how much their support means to us. It's really, really, really valued. VJ, who is just, I just love VJ to bits. I just wish she could move in and live with me. She's just amazing. She just oozes positivity, and she's just such a hard-working person. But a massive thank you to her as well, because she's just a massive source of inspiration. St Stephen's Church, who have helped us with loads of food donations and clothing donations, and they're a local church to us, and they have been a big help to us this year. But personally, I would like to thank all of those members of our group. The turnout for outreach, week after week, no matter what the weather is, freezing cold or boiling hot, sweating summer sunshine, and the turnout, and they are funny, they're friendly, they're approachable, they're kind, they're committed, dedicated. They come up for the community sessions with the litter picking, the weeding, the help with the campaigns, and all the behind the scenes stuff. So you may not see them in the photographs, but actually there's a lot of stuff going on, and these people help keep me sane, and they're absolutely massive. They all make a massive difference to me. They help me on a daily basis, and they create a better world, and they also keep me sane, which is really important. A lot of people say that, I'm just an individual, what difference can I make? And I've used this story a few times, the starfish story, where there's a young lad on a beach, and there's loads of starfish all over the place on the beach, and he's gently picking one up at a time and walking down to the shore and putting the starfish in the water, and he goes back several times, and a man comes across this boy and laughs and says, "What on earth are you doing? You're never going to get them all back. You're not going to make any difference to those starfish at all. You're wasting your time." And the boy says, "Well, you're wrong, because I might not be able to save those ones, but I've made a difference to that one, to that one, to that one, to all of those I've been able to put back in the water and save." And that's really what we're about. I'm one individual, but I'm part of a group, and our group works with other groups, and those groups they actually are part of a movement, a big movement. So please don't underestimate, what you can do as one individual. Finally, I'm going to challenge you now. So if you're watching this and you aren't vegan, please sign up for Veganuary. It's very easy. There's a lot of support. You can get support directly from them, or there's Challenge 22 as well. Or you can talk to us about it as well. Please let us know how you're getting on. Things that you're finding difficult, things that you're thinking is really, really easy. Any tips that you're finding which could help other people as well. And if you are vegan, challenge a friend or a family member. See if you can persuade them to do it as well. And if you want to get active, what's stopping you? Don't keep saying this is a year I'm going to get active and then be frightened about it. We're a lovely group. All of our people are really, really kind, committed individuals, very peaceful. It's a lovely group to be in, and I'm saying that because I'm in the group, but they are lovely, lovely people, and we always want to see more members. We always want to have more people active, getting out there, spreading the vegan word, and just doing the right thing for the animals. We would really, really love to hear from you. There's lots of things going on in the Northeast now. There's absolutely loads. So there's loads of things for you to choose from. If outreach is not your thing, there's lots of other ways you can get involved with. So please get in touch and have a look around what's going on in the Northeast. So I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to say have a lovely new year, hopefully firework free, hopefully a lovely restful weekend as well. And I want to wish you all the best for 2023. And hopefully it'll be a peaceful one. We know there's an awful lot of things going on at the moment, but we need to please think about the animals and make sure the animals don't get lost in everything else which is going on. So this is Amelia from Northeast Animal Rights signing off now and saying Happy New Year and all the best for 2023.